This is the Oz report for March 16th, 2024, and I want to start with Plex and Plex adjacent pricing, because Plex, as we discussed earlier on stream, is being pulled in all different directions this week, because not only do we have a sale in the New Eden store, which I'm going to show you here in the game client, we have multiple pilot training certificates 20% off, which is quite significant for skill farming. That pushes Plex up because people need to buy Plex to take advantage of the sale. Then we have the massive 50% off Hypercore sale. And that is a $23 billion a day market, or billion ISK a day market, I should say. And that will impact this hypercore market in the long run. We discussed this earlier on the stream. The amount of hypercores traded today or in the last couple of days was tenfold of what it usually is. And so there are a lot of people stocking up on these hypercores now. Prices have dropped by 50%. Not surprisingly, and so that will be a while until hypercores recover. If you ask me, they never need to recover, because I would just delete the hypernet from the game. But since that is outside of my power, I am just letting you guys know that hypercores have crashed and they will not recover for a long time. Having said that, though, that will also push up Plex prices, right? So we have MCTs, hypercores pushing up Plex prices. And then remember, last week we talked about the new cerebral accelerators that are also in the New Eden store and that are priced, if you ask me, they're priced super low. So you can see those here. They are in all different shapes and sizes, and they can now be bought for Plex in the New Eden store. And in terms of ISK per SP efficiency, they're still 20-30% cheaper than the closest alternative. And so I am very surprised that Master at Arms cerebral accelerators have actually recovered back to 80 million, because they shouldn't. You should just buy Plex and then inject these if you really need cerebral accelerators. And on the other hand, I am also surprised that the Plex price hasn't risen more than it has, because in addition to the MCTs and the hypercores, we also have these cerebral accelerators that should also technically be pushing the price up. Now, what is keeping the Plex price down? That is this right here. And that is the 20% off Plex in the real market store. So, not sure whether it's very advanced strategy on CCP's side, but you would technically see significant uptick in Plex pricing. There's no way this week wouldn't have seen a significant uptick, and now we have a 20% off sale. So, three things pushing it up, a fairly massive Plex sale pushing it down. That's where we're at today. Depending on how long these sales last, we could still see it spiking. But overall, what we did see this week is Plex really just going up by 1%. So not really all that significant. So that's all the sales that are going on. If we go, let's go into Plex and Plex adjacent items real quick, and that is here on our quick bar. As I said, Master at Arms cerebral accelerators, they should have dropped more, because they are just simply overpriced. So I don't know who is keeping the price up at 83 million, but they just shouldn't be there. I think the target price should be closer to 70 million. And so right now, certainly, I'm not advocating anyone to buy these or invest in these. I think these are, in the long run, they should be dropping even more, especially because they only last for a day or two compared to other cerebral accelerators in the New Eden store that have better ISK per SP efficiency and last longer. So there's more convenience there. So who knows? People making dumb decision. What else is new in EVO 9? Skill extractors, they have recovered nicely back to 500. This is the other, the other 50% sale that we had in the past. So this is what we saw last June. Took almost a year to recover, but we are over 500 now again, which is great for everyone who invested into this market, like this guy here. I think overall I made about $500 billion on skill extractors, which I am very happy about. Or I should say our Delta fund investors made off like a bandit. Skill injectors, on the other hand, we are around 900 million still. This, you know, also I would have expected these to drop maybe a little bit more because we have cheaper cerebral accelerators in the New Eden store now. However, you know, same as EVE players making bad economic decisions, it's the same with instant gratification. So large skill injectors, it's still, besides the SP packs in the New Eden store, is the only way that you can instantly get SP. And so right now this is at 900 million. The demand is still high. It's not changing all that much. And so what this means overall in terms of ISK efficiency, or what you should be doing, I want to quickly go over that. So basically, if you want a cerebral accelerators, as I said, the most efficient ones are in the New Eden store. If you want instant gratification SP now, then anything under 80 million SP, you're going to go for a large skill injector. So if your character is under 80 million SP, then between 50 and 80 million SP, your ISK efficiency is around 3,000 ISK per SP. If you're over 80 million SP, it doesn't make sense to use large skill injectors. It makes more sense to actually go into the New Eden store and buy the SP bundles. Buy, for example, the Master bundle here that has around a 3,000 ISK per SP efficiency as well. Because otherwise, you're way overpaying for your skill points. All right, that's just a public service announcement there. And while we're at it, let's look at skill farming profits. The current skill farming profits at the 12-month Plex subscription level is 600 million per account per month. So even at the higher skill extractor prices, even at, you know, fairly steady large skill injector prices and 1% higher Plex prices, we're still making good profits in skill farming. Remember, this doesn't even include, for example, the 20% off MCT that we're seeing right now in the New Eden store. So if you are running skill farms, and I know there are some of you out there that are running dozens or maybe even 3-digit accounts, right? You're making a lot of money, and if you're taking advantage of the right sales, then you know, all your clickety click annoying skill farming playtime is really paying off, even though you must be a little bit deranged. I still love you guys though. So having said that, let's look at some other items that I wanted to mention. Structures. Okay, structures. If we go here and look at the dashboard, we can see that structure prices are up 4%. What's up with that? What happened with structures? And I can show you what happened with structures, and that is Athenors, right? Athenors have had a massive supply drop. You can see that typically on Athenors, like 20 or so exchange hands every day. 2 days ago, that was almost 70 of them exchanged hands, and that's 55% of the supply being gone out of JITA. Now, the price hasn't spiked, right? It hasn't spiked, but overall, the supply of Athenors is quite low, and that is there's certainly a potential of this spiking. Now, you know, whether this is market shenanigans or you know, large blocks maybe preparing for things to come. I would expect it to be the latter, because I'm not aware of a lot of market speculation going on with structures, just because it's tedious, it's you know, it's risky, etc. But you know, it might just be a strategic move of keeping others from dropping Athenors or preparing to drop a lot of Athenors yourself. The other thing I wanted to mention is Federation Navy Fleet Colonel insignias. Now these are Galente Federation insignias, and you can see the price has gone absolutely nuts. Typically this was around 2 million, 2.5 million. Now we're looking more around 4 million. And if you look at what these are used for, these are used in the LP store to trade in for Caldari Navy modules. For example, Caldari Navy ballistic control systems. Those are the most profitable ones, that the most profitable LP items that actually use these specific insignias. And these are the specific ones that are spiking. And, you know, one reason for that could be, I mean, Caldari right now, they're absolutely dominating the faction warfare map versus Galente. And so if they are collecting a lot of LP, then they do need a lot of these insignias to trade in, for example, for these Caldari Navy ballistic control systems. Now, these might rise in price because, you know, you need, I think, 9 or 10 insignias just for one of these Caldari Navy ballistic control systems. So that's already 40 million right there of this, 110, 120 million module price. Now, these aren't going to rise in price indefinitely, though, because, you know, for ballistic control systems, there are other faction modules out there with the exact same stats, and they are all about the same price. So there isn't really a market where this can go. So at some point, these prices are just going to drop down. So if you have these right now, it's a very good time to sell them. Don't wait around. These aren't going to rise indefinitely because faction warfare maps flip and modules have substitutes out there. So don't gamble too much. All right. One other thing I wanted to mention was Covert Ops cloaking device. So if you look at items that are trending up, it's very unusual for a Covert Ops cloaking device to rise like this, all right, because this is a very, very heavily used item. You can see here in the, you know, the daily trade volumes over 1,000 items. And having said that, now we're looking at 8 million, you know, basically gone out of GDA. Now, a little bit of that might be market speculation, but a lot of that is also Morphyte pricing, which is up 20%. In recent times, and also raw moon material prices that are going up. So you do have raw materials for this specific module going up, but then it completely being gone certainly also has some market speculation potential here as well. So just very interesting. I don't mention these you know, tier 2 modules a lot, but a Covert Ops cloaking device 2 is absolutely essential for certain gameplay. And so something like this being completely gone from the market or spiking in price has a big impact on the economy. Now, getting towards the end of this report, platinum, okay? Finally, for weeks and months, I've been telling you guys platinum is undervalued, and I myself, I'm very invested in platinum. I have big stockpiles, and now we finally see platinum prices over 10,000. So we're just under 10,000 is here, a big chunk of the market, but the supply is not as high as it used to be, and so this might be a time, if you've been listening to the Oz report, to also check your platinum stocks and maybe cash in, or maybe hold, depending on how much you want to risk. And then finishing up, the last thing we want to talk about is Abyssal materials. So we've been talking about Abyssal materials recently, in that there was a nerf to Triglavian guns, and so the speculation was, okay, how much is this going to actually impact the use of Triglavian ships? I downplayed it a little bit because I said they're still good, the weapons are still good, the nerf is not that big. The biggest impact was probably to Iketersas not running high-level Firestorm Abyssals as well as they were running them before. And if we look at Iketersa prices, they have taken quite a big hit. This is only probably about 10%, but it's, you know, you can see it on the graph. And most of that is because 0-point field manipulators just, you know, they dropped like a sack of potatoes. So you can see here, last year we still had 350 million or 350,000 unit prices. Now we're down to 200,000, and this is for tier 2 Triglavian ships. So if you're in the market for tier 2 Triglavian ships, or you're making them, then make sure you're aware of these market changes, because even looking at crystalline isogen 10, that's just coming back to normal prices, and 0-point condensate also as well. So these are coming from very high prices. They're going back to an equilibrium. But if you look at tier 2 Triglavian ships like the Ichthyorsa or the Nurgle, certainly we're going to see dropping prices there. And even if you look at something like the Leshak, prices have come down because Abyssal materials are coming down. So just be aware of that. All right, that's it for the Oz Report this week. And we're going to return to the regular stream, and I will see you guys next week.